The forest was unusually silent, the evening air cool and still. The protagonist, out for a simple walk after a long day, couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. As he ventured deeper into the woods, he heard a rustling in the underbrush. His curiosity piqued. He followed the sound, unaware of the danger that lurked just beyond his sight. A sudden movement caught his attention. An alien creature, unlike anything he had ever seen, appeared before him. She was small, with fur that shimmered in the dim light, long rabbit-like ears twitching as her large, luminous eyes locked onto his. She seemed like a creature from a dream, ethereal and delicate. Before he could make sense of what was happening, the air around them buzzed with a strange energy. Without warning, she leapt at him, pushing him out of harm's way. A flash of light, followed by a sickening thud, signaled that something had gone terribly wrong. The protagonist looked down in horror to see the alien girl lying on the ground, a deep wound across her side. Blood a strange, glowing fluid pooled beneath her breath shallow and labored. Panic set in. He quickly rushed to her side, trying to staunch the bleeding, but his mind raced, filled with questions. Who was she? Why did she save him? What had just happened? He didn't have the answers, but he knew one thing for certain. He had to help her. Carrying the injured creature in his arms, he made his way back to his apartment. Her body was lighter than it should have been, but her wounds were deep, and her breathing barely perceptible. His apartment was sparse, just a few pieces of furniture and an old couch, but it would have to do. He laid her gently on the couch, desperately trying to stop the bleeding. The glow of her skin seemed to flicker, as if the life force inside her was being drained. He didn't know how, but he could feel an inexplicable connection to her, a bond that felt strange yet undeniable. For the next few days, the protagonist nursed her back to health, cleaning and dressing her wounds as best as he could. As time passed, he began to notice the strange properties of her body. Her skin glowed faintly, her long ears twitching occasionally as if she were listening to some sound only she could hear. He spoke to her, though she didn't respond, unsure if she could hear him at all. The silence between them was maddening. Yet every now and then, when he looked into her eyes, there was a flicker of recognition. Was she aware of him? One night, as he sat by her side, he had a strange dream. In the dream, he was standing in a lush, vibrant forest, the sky a deep purple hue. He could hear distant voices, some singing, some laughing. But the dream was different. It was not his. It was hers. He saw flashes of her world, a place far beyond the stars, filled with towering trees, strange creatures, and a civilization unlike anything he had ever known. The dream felt so real, he could almost touch the leaves that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. When he awoke, the alien girl was still unconscious, but her breathing seemed steadier. Was the dream a glimpse into her past? He couldn't be sure, but it left him with more questions than answers. He couldn't help but feel that somehow their fates were connected in ways he couldn't understand. Then, one afternoon, she finally stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, and for the first time, she looked at him with clear recognition. Her voice was soft, barely a whisper, but it carried an air of strength. She spoke in broken English, her words faltering but filled with meaning. "I saved you," she said. Her voice had a melodic quality, though it was laced with fatigue. "I was sent here to learn, but I failed. They will come for me." The protagonist's heart raced. She was an alien, sent here from another world. But why, and why had she saved him? As the days passed, she became more coherent, explaining in fragments the purpose of her mission. She was part of a scout group, sent to Earth to study its defenses. But she had learned something along the way, something her people didn't want her to know. Her species, a proud and powerful one, had a secret agenda, to conquer weaker worlds and exploit their resources. She couldn't bring herself to be a part of it, so she fled, becoming a rogue and outcast. The protagonist listened in disbelief, his world growing smaller with each word. A war was brewing, and Earth was caught in the middle. His feelings for her grew stronger with each passing day. She wasn't just a survivor, she was a warrior, a protector in her own right. But now, she was vulnerable. She needed him, just as much as he needed her. The peace they had started to build was shattered one evening when a knock came at the door. The air seemed to grow colder, charged with danger. Before the protagonist could react, the door crashed open. A group of shadowy figures entered, their eyes glowing with malice. They were her enemies, the faction she had run from. Without hesitation, she jumped to her feet, ready to fight, but the injury she had sustained still slowed her movements. The protagonist, unsure of what to do, stepped forward. The figures approached, weapons raised, but in that moment, something clicked inside him. He wasn't going to let them take her. With everything he had, he threw himself into the fight, trying to shield her from the attackers. It was chaos. Blows were exchanged, and the room was filled with the sounds of battle. In the midst of the violence, the protagonist realized something terrifying. He wasn't just protecting her, he was protecting the world from a threat he barely understood. Despite their best efforts, the enemies overpowered them, leaving the protagonist and the alien girl cornered. But just when all seemed lost, a strange energy pulsed through her, the glow of her skin brightening as she tapped into some hidden power. With a fierce cry, she unleashed a shockwave, sending their attackers sprawling. The protagonist stood in awe as she collapsed once more, her energy spent. In the aftermath of the attack, the truth came crashing down. The enemy wasn't just an alien species, it was her own kind, those who sought to subjugate Earth. And now, they were coming for her, knowing that she was a traitor. She needed to leave Earth, to escape and find a safe haven before it was too late. The protagonist made a decision in that moment: he would go with her. He had no choice. His feelings for her had become undeniable, and he would do whatever it took to keep her safe. Together, they made their way to an abandoned facility on the outskirts of the city. Hidden beneath the ground was her ship, a vessel capable of carrying them far from Earth. But as they prepared to leave, the protagonist realized that his life had changed forever. This girl, this alien rabbit who had saved him, had become more than a stranger. She was now his ally, his love, his responsibility. As they boarded the ship, leaving Earth behind, the protagonist couldn't help but wonder what the future held. He had come to Earth for answers, but now, with an alien by his side, he had found something far more valuable: a reason to fight. Together, they would face the unknown, battling enemies and finding new worlds. And as the ship soared into the stars, the protagonist knew one thing for certain: he wasn't alone anymore.